All right, and welcome to our first Earth Guardian planting ceremony. And today is Earth Day. So if you're watching this afterwards, today is Earth Day. So I wanted to share with you all a simple planting ceremony that I actually started, gosh, probably around 6 years ago. And through the practice of setting intentions with my plants and with myself. Not only did I grow, but so did my garden. And so I just want to share this practice with you so you can share it with others. Because once you do it once, you'll want to do it many times. And so I do plan to host more of these workshops like this. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions at this moment. All right, excellent. So before we get started into our planting, let's go ahead and let's get grounded. So wherever you're at, if you're sitting down on the floor, try to touch your hands to the ground or your feet to the ground, or imagine yourself touching the ground. Even if you're not outside, just imagine yourself connecting with the earth, and go ahead and begin taking a few deep breaths. And we're just going to take a few deep breaths together while we ground with the earth. Okay, so let's begin, and we'll inhale for 4, hold, exhale, and then you inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale. We'll do that once more. Again, really grounding and becoming present in the moment. Inhale, hold, and exhale. Okay, maybe take a moment just to shake your shoulders. And if you want, you can actually take a few more deep breaths, because I am going to read to you a poem that wanted to be shared with you all today. It's from a book called Mindfulness in the Garden. I will share it in the comments here. And as we read this poem, this will get us beginning to step into ceremony with our garden, with ourselves, and with the earth. I entrust myself to my garden. When we spend time in our garden, we come to know its ways and its truth, the direction and force of the season's winds, the movement of light and shadow, and the temperament of the soil itself. Do the inhabitants it allows or denies. Breathing in, we entrust ourselves to the wisdom of nature and allow it to inform our actions. My garden entrusts herself to me. Lying beneath our feet, the earth entrusts her care to us. Mindfully, we have cleared a space with our weeding. We have cultivated good heart in our soil with our compost, and now excavate the soil to receive the seeds of our garden's newest flora. Breathing out, we open the soil of our garden mindfully, mindfully, as we honor the land and all its inhabitants. Dear Earth, I am here for you. With these words, we give our full presence to the earth. We express true love, and we compassionately excavate the soil while offering our most prized possession, our presence. Garden and gardener intertwine in the soil of mindful awareness, and both thrive. Breathing out, we are present to the earth. Thank you. Thanks for allowing the space to be held for that point. And now let's begin. So to begin our planting ceremony, prior to setting up, of course, you want to collect some seeds. I have a variety here. I have some durian, and I have some bean and sunflower seeds. And here I have corn, and I have some pepper seeds. So all prepped, ready to get those planted. I have various different containers here, right? And feel free to like recycle different containers, like yogurt containers and things like that. You can use too for planting. So you don't have to run to the store and buy new ones. As you can see, I've used these a bunch, okay? So once you get all prepped with your seeds, your soil, your pots, the only other things you need are either I just, at the craft store, you can get a bunch of these popsicle sticks, or even make your own, again, out of cut yogurt containers. And again, we're going to use this to write some intentions and words, okay? So now that we're all ready, now if you're watching this and you don't actually have your seeds and your soil in front of you, then what I ask is that you'll actually, in your mind's eye, imagine your favorite fruit or food, but something where you know what the seed looks like. And imagine that in your mind's eye for me, okay? Go ahead, imagine that fruit or that vegetable, again, a seed that you really love, and imagine it, and imagine looking at it, okay? I want you to even imagine potentially what it feels like. So I'm doing that here with my seed, okay? I'm feeling it. It definitely has like some different, it's not just smooth, right? And then if you want, you can even try tasting your seed. Some people believe that you can actually suck on your seeds prior to planting them, and there'll be some benefits. And we'll go into that a little deeper in another workshop. But for this one, we won't suck on our seeds or anything like that, unless you want to. And we'll move on. And so again, think about your seed. Now, what's something you notice about all seeds? Again, if you're doing it in your mind's eye, what is something you recall about all of them? This one is a really good example that I hope you can see. See how it's got that little dot in the middle? What does that remind you of? Maybe like a belly button. So think about that. It's like, oh, wow, every seed comes with like a little belly button. So, well, if you know a little bit about science, we all know that inside every seed is basically the first leaf of that new plant. So what you hold right here in your hand is not only a baby seed, but a mother plant. And seeds are just a perfect example of legacy and ancestry. So again, imagine your seed. Imagine what it has had to, what it and its ancestors have had to experience to be right here in your hand today. Depending on the seed you have in your hand or the one in your mind's eye, it could be thousands of years old. It could be hundreds of years old. Maybe it's a new variety. Either way, this seed's ancestors had to overcome famine, drought. I mean, imagine the things that every seed and its ancestors have had to overcome to be in your hand today, right? So that's why every chance I have to honor seeds and be present with them, I do. And thank you for allowing me to share that with you. So now that we've connected with our seed and we see that these seeds' ancestors have survived, now it's time for us to help them finish their legacy. The next thing they need to do is go in soil. So I'm going to push this one. I'm going to go ahead and plant this one in the soil and be covered and buried and then watered. But the last element it needs is sunlight, right? So now it will be able to live its legacy. But until we take that seed and connect with it and partner with it, it is just sitting in a packet. So everyone go and partner with the seed and let's get planting. Okay. So now that, go ahead if you like right now, if you want, because if you're sitting here and you are planting, feel free to plant a few seeds. Okay, go ahead and put them in the soil. Just take a moment to connect. I'm planting some corn, and I'm going to plant this very big durian seed here, and I'm going to put it. Actually, I have a larger container for it because it needs more space to grow. In fact, I'm also questioning if this one's even big enough for it. So you may see a part 2 about that one. Okay, and now that you have, again, feel free to continue planting, and I'm going to get us prepped for our next part of our ceremony, of our planting ceremony, and take a drink of water. So I'm going to mute this. Okay. So I also wanted to note these handy little things I'm using are made by my friend Amy. And so maybe I can tag her in here. She's actually in our the Earth Guardian community. So thank you, Amy. These are really great. And okay, so now that we've got our seeds in the soil or in our mind's eye, we're planting our seeds, right? So we've connected. So now it's time to honor our seeds and Mother Earth and ourselves in this last part of the planting ceremony. The first words that come to your mind as you connect it with your seed, I want you just to take a moment and think about, as you're connecting with your seeds. Oh, hey, that one wants to fly. What you felt. So just take a moment and write words that came up for you as you connect with your seed or seeds, because every seed has a different message to tell you. Okay. Okay, great. Continue to write. Feel free to write on all sides of your sticks. Okay. Again, just whatever comes to your mind's eye or in your mind, because those are what is like your intuition is telling you to write. Okay. So now that we've connected with our seed and the emotions that come up for us when connecting to the seed, now as we planted that seed or as we plant these seeds, are there different emotions that come up for you? Okay. So also remember where you put your seeds. So if it's not easy for you to do that, go ahead and put your sticks in, and you could also write what the seed is. I actually highly recommend that when you are doing multiple seeds. So you'll want to do that, because I've learned the hard way. If you don't label your seeds, you will forget later. Oh, it's also good to put the date on there so you'll know. And it's just a great way to track how fast the plants grow. And also it gives you an idea of the date of when you wrote these intentions. Okay, so now that we've connected and we've gotten our seeds into the earth, the first words that come to your mind as you plant the seed. So as we plant the seed, what intentions are we feeling? Or excuse me, what are we feeling as we plant the seed? So I'm going to actually now I have some tobacco seeds that I harvested from my garden, and I'm now going to plant those. And from there, write about. So with smaller seeds like this, I'm still learning actually how to really garden with smaller seeds. So I end up putting a bunch in one thing and then just basically picking out the strong ones. So yeah, I'll put just about 10 or so in there and press it. Again, these seeds are really small. They're very, you would have to see, I mean, see them for yourselves, I guess. Okay, so now we've got tobacco in there, and now we're going to write about how planting your seeds made you feel. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, I'm going to go ahead and write the name of my seed and the date so that that doesn't get lost in all of this. Okay. Once you start really note-taking and gardening, like things get exciting. You really start to see growth. Like you're like, whoa, that grew in 2 weeks. Are you kidding me? Like, why haven't I been gardening my whole life, right? Okay, so now the third item that we'll write about. Okay. Thank you. So this morning I wrote this out as I was in meditation. So to me, I'm still coming back to it going, oh, okay, yep. That's what, what I was guided to share. So our third item, we're going to note on our sticks or, whatever you're writing on, whether it's note paper, is now think about your seed. Think about it growing. And how are you going to feel when it blooms? So let's write that on the sticks now. And you may have some of the same emotions, that you write down for these each of these exercises, and that's okay. Okay. Right. Okay. So I will share some of the things that I wrote. Sorry. Actually, I think that I won't share. And in a lot of ways, this process is personal, and in other ways, it can also be something you share. And so I think what I'll do is I will share in our community photos of this with the sticks finished. But right now, we'll just continue on with you being able to write any more words that you'd like to write. and then stick them in your pot, okay? All your pots that you got seeds in. And I'm gonna have to go back. Oh, this was corn. This was corn, actually. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that one was corn. Whoa, my stick flew. Okay. We'll get that later. But yeah, that one was corn. I'll make sure and write that there. The corn stick went flying. It was like, whoa. Okay. So now that we've got all of our sticks in our plants, and each day when you water them, you're going to be able to see what you wrote. You'll be able to connect with yourself, the plant, the earth, and these words and this statements that you've made here is the legacy of these plants. And so together, you and these seeds will grow, and you'll learn so much, and some of them will make it and some of them won't, and that is also part of the gardening process. So as you continue your gardening journey, this will be one of many gardening workshops that will include a ceremony like this, right? And so, yes, so each time the prompts will be a little different. And so this exercise was about connecting with, again, Mother Earth. Today's Earth Day, and just really introducing you all to a very simple way of creating writing prompts while planting. So again, I mentioned before, this is something that kids could do as well. So you could like come up with some really fun writing prompts, like what sound does your plant make when it grows? Like you really could. You could have some fun things with it. So what we'll do is we'll close this ceremony with another poem. And if anyone has any questions, let me know. And this is the poem that the wanted to be read. So for the closing of our ceremony today. And the name of the poem is Surrendering Separateness. I surrender my sense of separateness. Because we understand that when we perspire, it evaporates to become a cloud, we know that we are part of the cloud. Because we planted the acorn that grew into the leafy tree, we could see we are also in the leaf. Breathing out, I see that I am in both the leaf and the cloud. The cloud, the leaf, and I are connected. Breathing in, I know I am not separate from nature. We are, because everything else is. Breathing out, we acknowledge our presence and our connection to all life. Thank you for sitting here and breathing in and breathing out with me today as we honor Mother Earth and honor each other and plant seeds of hope and wisdom and share with others how easy it is to plant seeds. And I know it's still cold in some parts of the country who may be watching this video. So I know that you may have limitations in how you're able to garden. And so I'm really interested in what you do to continue gardening, even when the weather may not be as favorable as other places. So thank you all again. I look forward to connecting with you all in the Earth Guardian community.